People don't speak English and they still make it work. Our parents are always telling us, con las oportunidades que tú tienes acá, hablas el idioma. There are people that don't speak the language. You speak both languages, you grew up here, you know the culture, all that. Why wouldn't you take advantage of it? So we've known each other since, 2017? 2018, something like that.
Yeah, probably around that time.
It's been way too long.
I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. What was our first conversation about starting the firm together? Do you remember that?
I do, but I don't know if we should say it.
Let's say it.
We were just out hanging out after, a long day of work. There might have been some tequila shots involved or just dinner. I don't know. And then we kind of started spitballing about different ideas. Obviously, you were in a different place in your life at that point. I wanted to start another law firm or started my law firm, and you were kind of wanted to start law school.
Yeah. And I think we started talking about you started talking about how you always wanted to go out on your own and that you wanted to also do personal injury. Mm-hmm. And it was a tough decision because I was about to start law school, but somehow we were able to start it, and I'll never forget drafting a complaint during civil procedure, but it worked out. I'm also grateful that Angel was able to help a lot because it was really just you two at the beginning.
Yeah, shout out to Angel. You definitely helped us kind of grow the firm a lot, especially in those first couple of years when I didn't know how to do any personal injury. I know I didn't make your law school experience a little as easy as should have been. I had a little bit more stress, but I mean, we made it. So.
We made it. We figured it out. Grading your discovery responses was fun. I've never been able to give somebody a D or a C.
No, I think based on the bell curve, I think a C- would have been sufficient.
Yeah. It's definitely been a journey. But if we were to each come up with one word to describe each other as a business partner, what do you think yours would be?
I don't know. It's kind of hard just to pick one. I kind of want to pick reliable and determined just because I know when I have a question about something or I need help, at least the first couple of years, even with everything that was going on in law school, you were still there to answer a question, to kind of walk me through it. So I really appreciate that. But also, you're a very determined person. Nobody's going to help start a law firm and then go to law school at the same time and then have a baby, which I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah. So that's why I was you're very determined on everything you juggle and your processes, I guess.
Thank you. You were there for me too when I was in law school. I was like, Fonzie, what's an appellate brief? Where do I start? You helped me with that.
I guess.
I think if I were to think of a word, I think I would choose smooth. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because I've always been told that it's really important, just like who you pick to be your roommate, it's really, or your who you marry, it's really important who you pick to be your business partner.
Okay.
And I think you've made it really smooth. I know you say I yell at you a lot, but it's always for your good, for your own good. But it has been smooth because when we make decisions, it's a very smooth process. I never feel like we're going back and forth. And I think that's one of the most important things in a partnership. So I do appreciate that.
I think I was a smooth person. I was like, I don't know about that.
Sometimes when you want to be.
No, but I guess I see it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's talk about where did we grow up? Where did you grow up, Fonzie?
Well, it started in Chicago in the 90s on South
He does not have street cred.
Side.
He's
Shout
from
out
Gwinnett.
Cook County Hospital. And then I moved, I guess at this point I'm pretty much from Georgia. So
he likes to say he's Southside Chicago, but he's from Gwinnett County.
I went to elementary school there, so I got the street cred. But then after that we moved down here 2001, I don't really remember, to Georgia. And I've been in Gwinnett since middle school through college, and I'm still here. So, I pretty much grew up in the hard streets of Lawrenceville.
You know what? You said that you went to elementary school in Chicago. What was your childhood like there?
Honestly, way different. We get those snow days that we don't get down here. We get fall the summers were also fun. It wasn't like unbearably hot and
Yeah, it
humid.
sucks here.
But even like the city, like Atlanta's growing, but compared to Chicago, it's super different.
Were you exposed to lots of entrepreneurial people in Chicago when you were there? Do you remember any of that?
Honestly, I mean, I guess I didn't pay attention to it, but I'll be honest, like my life compared to Chicago to here would have been way different. And when I moved down here, and I guess growing up here, I did see more like Hispanic-owned businesses, and that's where I got better ideas of what I need to do.
You saw that here?
Here in Georgia, in Chicago, like I said. I mean, I was young too, but I guess I didn't have that exposure like I would have had that here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one good thing. I guess one benefit of moving down here.
Gotcha.
What about you?
I was just asking because I've been binging this show called The Bear. Have you heard of it?
I love it.
It's so good.
I'm still on season 1 though.
But it's about, a family that has an entrepreneurial spirit, and it's in Chicago. It's pretty cool. I grew up here in Gwinnett. I was born in Atlanta. I was born in the elevator of the hospital, but I was born in the elevator.
You were born going up.
My dad always said that's why your life is so up and down. Best dad joke. But yeah, I grew up mainly like Lilburn, Duluth. But yeah, I've always been in Gwinnett, and that's why I wanted to have, an office here in Gwinnett, because this is my county, my hood, if you will. Growing up, I feel very fortunate that I was exposed to a lot of entrepreneur. I was very fortunate to be exposed to a lot of business minds. My parents were both entrepreneurs. My dad had multiple businesses. My parents each opened separate jewelry stores. And my dad had properties, and he also had other businesses that he owned. So we were exposed to it a lot growing up. Also, the spirit of giving back to your community was shown to us a lot, me and my brothers. My dad was a pastor, and both of my parents worked with the Amnesty. So, and my mom will never let you forget, she worked in the 1986 Amnesty. So that's why she's so big on immigration.
She never told me that.
Oh, she'll tell you. Ask her.
She told me she was an attorney in Colombia. Unless she know Pablo Escobar.
I heard that story too. But yeah, they worked a lot with the 86 Amnesty, and we had a lot of programs through our church that we would help people with immigration programs, and we were a part of a lot of clinics. So it was something that I was always exposed to, and I always loved, honestly, because, and that's why it's so important. It was so important for me to have my office here in Gwinnett, in Atlanta, because I feel like this is my community. And these are the people we grew up with. These are the, our parents that we grew up translating for at 9 years old, fighting with the phone company on the phone. But yeah, that's how I grew up. I'm not from anywhere else. I was born and raised here.
I mean, honestly, it's not a bad place. Like I said, if I was still in Chicago, I don't know where I would have been compared to right now if I didn't move down here. So yeah, I get it.
Were your parents involved in the community at all?
I don't want to say as much, but I mean, I know they were always working, trying to provide for obviously us, our family. So they haven't been as involved as your family. I think
that's being involved in the community. I think a lot of Hispanic parents, by trying to provide for their own family, are doing their part in the community because they're raising people like you and me. Yeah. And I think that's why me and you have so much concern and empathy for our clients, mostly, especially the clients that don't speak English. Yeah. At least for me. When I see somebody that's like my parents' age come in and doing a consultation with one of us, that's what I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I still kind of do that when I'm in the immigration court and there's like random people and they're like, ¿Qué dice? What do I do? And this, like, I kind of walk around the court and kind of, if they want to talk to the clerk, I translate for them. So I kind of still stuck in that little role, I guess, to try to translate for people. Yeah. But I don't think I'll ever grow out of that because, I mean, it kind of feels good to help them out. They're lost. They don't know what to do. Right now, it's a really tough, place to be in right now. So, I mean, I enjoy it. I like it, even if, like I said, I'm not really an attorney.
Yeah.
Or even if I'm an attorney.
If you're not really an attorney?
Even if I'm an attorney, I'm never big enough to, like, not help anybody out,
Yeah.
things like that.
Very true. I think I was talking to somebody the other day when I said that. I don't know how many times I've been confused as an interpreter, a court interpreter, and that's fine. Because, I mean, I'm never going to be, too big to translate for somebody.
Okay.
And it always turns into, ¿cuánto cobra para la consulta?
Yeah.
¿Tiene una tarjeta?
Yeah, same. And I usually don't. So that's
What is your immigration journey?
my immigration journey.
Yes.
Like, I
You
mean, I
were
was born in
born here?
America.
I thought you weren't born here.
I was born in Chicago, but I did live in Mexico for a while.
Oh, that's what it was. You lived in Mexico.
I lived in Mexico for a couple of years. So I think I can claim them.
What's your family's immigration journey? Here, I'll say it like that.
My mom and my dad came when a little bit earlier in life, I guess. Maybe they were like 19, 21, around there. They went straight to Chicago because, I don't know, I feel like if there's somebody from your town that moves to that specific spot, like, they bring over everyone.
That's true.
So I guess a lot of people from their hometown in Mexico, they were going to Chicago. So that's where they decided to go. And then from there, I mean, honestly, they didn't have any type of status for the majority of my life. Luckily, one of my uncles got married with a U.S. citizen, and he applied for them. But obviously, when you're petitioned by a U.S. citizen brother or sister, it takes 15, 20 years. Luckily, he did apply for the whole family. And then I think around when I was like 15, 16, they actually got their green card. And then last year and this year, we were able to make my parents U.S. citizens now.
Yay!
Yeah. What about you? What was your
My
immigration?
parents, I mean, obviously I was born here.
Okay.
But so my mom moved here from Colombia when she was right out of college. I think she was like 19. She moved to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
No, New York first and then Chicago.
Okay.
And she came, like you said, you come with people. She came with 3 of her friends from school, and they were all roommates together in Chicago. And that's where she lived until she met my dad. My dad came from Dominican Republic when he was 12 to New York, and then later moved to Chicago, and that's where my parents met, and then they moved down here to Georgia.
Okay, cool. So that's why you smell like Colombian empanadas and mofongo at the same time? We'll cut it.
A distinct smell. He's got jokes. Anyway.
Well.
But as far as immigration journey, I know my mom became a citizen, I must have been like 11. So I assumed she was like in her 40s. And then my dad, I'm sure when he was younger. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't even remember.
No, it's fine. I mean, how do you think kind of that upbringing shaped your hustle and values today?
Oh, I think it played a major part. I definitely think it played a major part. And me and Angel are always talking about this, that sometimes I think it's better when you go through things in life, when you have to work a little bit harder to get to where you're at. For example, neither of our parents were attorneys. Neither of our parents had doctorate degrees. Like, we were probably the first ones in our families to get to that point. And I think there's something to say about that, because we had to work that much harder.
Yeah.
I went to law school with so many people that, what is it called? They're legacy students or something.
Yeah.
And we could never say that. But I'm proud of it, because I know that where we came from, and we had to work that much harder. And so it means that much more. As far as shaping the hustle, I think it's something to say about that, because we know that we have to make it work. I obviously I have a son. You don't have children yet, but you don't have a dog anymore either, do you? But you have your responsibilities
it's
too.
in a better place now.
But you have your responsibilities too, and we just have to make it work. Not only for that, but we have a whole staff now too. So sometimes it used to scare me a little bit, because we're not downstairs anymore in a 1,200 square foot? Was it 1,200? 800 square foot office.
9 something, yeah.
now, you know, we're a lot bigger, and I feel like people are relying on us now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it did shape my hustle and my drive. What about you?
I think the same. I mean, obviously, the type of work we're doing and the type of work I know my parents were doing back in the day, completely different. But I mean, I don't want to say like the biggest days of it, but I was doing those hard, like manual labors. So like just doing that for so long, like give anybody in that situation like so much respect. I guess that helped me. That drive helped me in law school. I know law school sucks, the bar sucks, but going through that, being outside in the sun on the roof, bringing bundles of shingles up the ladder, I didn't think I was going to be able or strong enough to do that, but I was able to work through it. So, like I said, I think that made me a stronger person. At least, like I said, it's a different type of hustle, but it's definitely something that helped me in that situation. It's just one is physical and one's mental. So that kind of showed me that I could do it. Like I was strong enough, but like I said, it just gave me more respect from what they were doing. Because I know you see it. You see, you're driving down the road. You see people doing landscaping, things like that. You don't think about it much, but once you're in their shoes, you understand what they're going through, and sometimes what you're fighting for. Honestly, especially.
I couldn't imagine doing that kind of work.
I didn't do it too long. Like I said, but I did it for like a year or so.
I wonder if you got tan. I've never seen you tan.
Actually, no, I don't. I tried, but no, I don't think I could. I don't know.
I think it helps us relate to our clients too.
Yeah, because that definitely does.
Yeah. So what? I kind of remember why I went into law. Why did you go into law?
Honestly, I think it's more like, you know, when you're like in kindergarten, they're like, hey, draw what you want to be and this and that. I think I put like an astronaut first, a pilot, and an attorney. I just think like I just took it a little more serious than some kids really did. But it was also, I mean, obviously it was always my dream to be an attorney moving down the road. So I took the leap and I did it. But I think it was also like kind of make my parents proud. Like a lot of like, if they can make it in this world from where they came from, there's no reason why I wouldn't be able to like go where I want to go, like go to law school, be an attorney.
Right.
I think that's what kind of shaped me or kind of drove me to go to law school and things like that.
Yeah, I think that's a big Hispanic thing. Our parents are always telling us, you know, con las oportunidades que tú tienes acá, hablas el idioma. You know, there are people that don't speak the language. People don't speak English, and they still make it work.
Yeah.
You know, you speak both languages. You grew up here. You know the culture, all that. Why wouldn't you take advantage of it? It's funny that you say that because when I was younger, I wanted to be a writer. I don't know why. I wanted to be I know why. My parents were always telling me that I was such a good writer. But then, of course, I get to law school and I got my first D on writing, on my first essay, legal writing. But I always wanted to be a writer. And then, seeing people that didn't really have a voice for themselves. As you know, my mom always had a really heavy accent. And there's other people like at our church and other people that we knew and we grew up with that didn't speak English at all. And you just want to be able to speak up for them because if not, people are going to take advantage. Yeah. And I think that's what prompted me to want to go to law school. And just like you, I always wanted to be a lawyer. I always thought I was going to be a judge.
I mean, it's still
I was really big into Judge Judy.
Wow. I mean, it could be there down the road.
No, really I'm good. No, I'm good.
Okay. Now, I mean, I know our journey to law school is a little more different. I kind of came out of undergrad, did some criminal justice type work, but you were kind of coming straight like from a paralegal role for a couple of years, right? Yep. Can you share a little bit how, I guess, that helped you or didn't help you?
You know,
go to law school?
It's crazy. You know, I was a paralegal for so long. I think what helped me the most was working for some really good experienced like trial attorneys. I think that's where I felt the most fortunate. I was always told that having that paralegal background was going to help me with law school, but if anything, I think it tripped me up a little bit. I'll never forget, like in civil procedure or in some of these other classes where you had to know the code section or the statute, I just knew what was supposed to happen next, but I didn't know like where it came from.
Okay.
And so it would trip me up. So yes, it helped, I guess, for maybe my applications.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the material, I think I had to unlearn some things and learn some new things.
Okay.
What about you? You talked about criminal justice, but you also were.
All right. Well, that was I worked for some probation services back in the day.
There it is.
You know, it was just a kid coming out of undergrad, didn't have a lot of experience, a lot of options. So
I don't know why you don't like talking about that. I think that's pretty badass.
They're the ops. But
it's the ops,
yeah,
not the ops.
That's the ops. No, I mean, I guess it wasn't all bad. I just felt like an adult babysitter at that point.
Yeah, I can see that.
What really helped me was I did get the opportunity to go to court and things like that and see what was going on. So I think that's the moment I was like, look, maybe I should really sit down and study for the LSATs and stuff. I really like being in court, seeing other attorneys and things like that, talking to judges. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think you should share more about the probation officer stuff. You don't like to you share a lot about it, but I mean, I think that has made you a better attorney.
Yeah.
Especially when you did criminal.
Yeah.
Too.
I mean, it definitely helps me in revocation here with probation officers because I know what they want, what they're looking for. So I guess that's another way I can think about it, that it wasn't like the worst thing, because people are always scared, like, I violated probation, what am I going to do? And I know, just sit down, contact your probation officer, see what we can work out before we even go to court and what they want to see.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that my experience as a previous paralegal helps a lot in the office. Mm-hmm. I feel like I have so much, I relate a lot to a lot of our staff because I can always say, you know, and we always remind them, we've had every position here, you know, so we've been there and we're never going to ask you to do anything that we haven't had to do ourselves. Yeah. But it's like I said, as far as law school, it really tripped me up. Mm-hmm. It didn't trip me up as much as getting pregnant in the middle of law school, but you know, it certainly wasn't impossible.
I mean, that's why I give you props too. Like I said, I just did law school. I didn't work. I didn't have any kids or anything, but I don't know how I could have done it, like going through all that at the same time. But that's the reason I kind of respect you a little bit more.
It certainly wasn't easy on the way to law school, hearing that, you know, we were nearing a statute.
Don't remind me. Well, at least it got filed. That's all.
Do you remember the moment that you asked me? Wait, scratch that.
The moment we kind of realized that we made it.
Have we made it?
Honestly, I don't think I've gotten to that point yet. Like, I know a lot of stuff happened since we were downstairs in a 900 square foot office. I don't know if it's just within me that I'm like, I need more, or I want to keep going, or if I'm ever going to get that feeling. But obviously, I do appreciate everything we have and what we've grown.
I do too. Yeah, 100%. I appreciate everything, and I appreciate mostly everybody that works with us. Yeah. We wouldn't be who we are without everybody that works with us. Yeah. I have the utmost respect for everyone. Yeah. How do you think that we're able to blend our personalities and our strengths to lead our staff?
I think we're a good balance, I guess. I don't think one of us is too strict and one of us is too laid back. I think we're kind of in the middle. We kind of gauge each other correctly to kind of make everything work. And I think that's why we've been able to go 5, 6, whatever years it is, just because I feel like we balance each other out.
I think so too.
If not, Angel's there to agree with me with everything, so that kind of helps too.
And then we'll have a pending argument about it later.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not there, so I'm good.
No, but seriously, I do think that we have a really good dynamic.
Yeah, so that's what I like, because I have seen, unfortunately, partnerships or attorneys that in the middle of like the year, they're like, we're going to split up. Good luck, everybody else. So I've seen the transition. It's not a good one or easy one, and it really sucks. But like I said, it's more that we're not just business partners, we're friends and things like that kind of help us.
What do you think being a Hispanic business owner means to you?
To me, honestly, it's just showing people that it doesn't matter what you have growing up, if it's from nothing or if it's like a legacy you said, that you can still make yourself out of it, just depending on your own situation. What I really liked is when my nephew actually came up, he's like, look, I look up to you.
Aww.
Like, I want to be like you when I grow up. And obviously my sister's in the back, like, no, you don't. But that's
Was it Sulema?
No, it was, have you met my nephews? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've met your nephews.
Yeah, it's Christian, the one with the bigger head. Happy birthday, by the way, today.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. No, but him, yeah, he's like, I respect you. I like everything you do. I know you're a hard worker. He actually wrote a little note for me. I have it on my fridge.
Oh, that's so cute. How old is he now?
How old are you when you're a freshman? And he's a freshman in high school.
14, 15?
No, I think maybe like
14?
Damn, never mind. I think he might be 14.
Next.
What would be the funniest moment of us working together?
The funniest moment, I think I've talked about this during our partnership event, during our 5-year anniversary. But for me, it was the fact that you accidentally were the first person to find out that I was pregnant when we were downstairs.
Damn, okay.
Angel had left the pregnancy test that I showed him in his desk, and he asked you to put his laptop in his drawer, and you opened the drawer, and we thought you saw it, and I guess you thought it was just a highlighter. And the next day, Angel comes in, and he's like, all right, I know you know, and you're like, know what? And then that's when Angel told you.
Okay.
I think that's the funniest for me.
Yeah, honestly, for me too. I don't know if anything's gonna beat that at this moment.
Okay, what do you think is next for us?
For us, I think we kind of been talking about it.
Yeah.
Or kind of getting everything under control with the new office is obviously not Alpharetta, but I think we kind of already know.
I think we want to expand more.
But I think it'll be a good expansion. It'll be a place that's going to really help the community.
I think so too.
Especially the Hispanics. But I think that's right now what's next for us.
Yep, I think so too. What's one thing you wish you knew earlier in your career?
Honestly, not to. It's gonna suck. It's gonna sound bad, but not to be as polite. Like when you're in court, like you don't have to be afraid. Like if it's a judge, like obviously have the respect for judges, but you're allowed to like kind of. With
immigration judges, is that what you're referring to?
Well, I guess
they're not very nice.
I guess that's kind of like the hardest battle, but I feel like you're like screw it. Like your clients pay you to be tough to like make those arguments.
That's true.
I used to be very like, I got to be very like. Hands off or not hands off, how do you explain it? Like very polite to these judges and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you're there to fight. There's not anything wrong with you having a disagreement with the judge. So I think looking back, I'd be like, I don't know how to say it in English. Échale más huevos, kind of something like that.
Échale ganas.
Yeah, échale ganas, better. But yeah, not to be as polite. Like you can be.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Hard ass.
I agree, and I feel like I've had to do that both as a woman and as a Hispanic woman, with a lot of opposing counsels. But one thing I wish I knew early on is that being managing partner is not all fabulous as it sounds. I had no idea it was going to be as much work as it has been. Yeah. Managing a group like ours is hard work. Everyone. And that is definitely something I wish I would have known before, so I could have paced myself. Thanks for kicking off Hispanic Heritage Month with us. We can't wait to introduce you to some of our other Hispanic entrepreneurs.